Good morning students, I am your Ritesh sir, chemistry teacher, and today we are going to discuss on some important questions from chapter metal and non-metals. These are top 10 questions from chapter metal and non-metals which are very important for your exam point of view, right? So, first of all, take a snapshot of these questions. After that, we will discuss the questions one by one. Okay. So, take a snapshot first. Okay. Hopefully, you have done. Okay. Let's start these discussion on these questions one by one. So, our first question is, why do silver articles become black after some times? Why do silver articles become black after some times? So, our reaction is, what happens when silver react with H2S? Here, okay, I am going to erase it. Hopefully, you have taken snapshot. Okay. So, let's start with our first question. Our first question, why do silver article becomes black after some times? So, H2S. H2S is a gas present in our atmosphere. When react with silver article that we used to wear, and the product is and hydrogen gas evolve. Due to that H2S, the silver articles became black after some times. Black layer of sulfur, that's H2S gas, when react with silver, that is metal, then it gives that black coating over silver article. Now, our second question, what is our second question? Second question is, name one metal and one non-metal which exist in a liquid state at room temperature. So, name of metal which exist in room temperature, exist in liquid form at room temperature is what? Mercury. Hg is formula, right? Liquid at room temperature. Liquid at room temperature. That is a metal. And which non-metal exists? Bromine, right? Bromine. Br is symbol. That is liquid at room temperature, and it is a non-metal. Okay. We have a lot of metals which have very low melting point, like gallium. Melting point of gallium is 303 K. That is Kelvin, right? Melting of cesium. Cesium is also a metal which have very low melting point, that is 301 K. So, these two metals, gallium and cesium, may melt when we take it on our palm, right? They will start melting. After this, our third question is amphoteric oxide. Very important question. Amphoteric oxides. What are amphoteric oxides? So, amphoteric oxides are those metal oxides which act both as acid as well as base. Example is zinc oxide. It behaves like, it have acidic as well as basic property. Acidic as well as basic property. Those metal oxide which behaves like acid or base is called amphoteric oxide. Aluminum oxide and zinc oxides are example for the same. Now, next is our exceptions. We have lot of exceptions in this chapter, like all metals can conduct electricity. All metals can conduct electricity, but there is an exception of carbon allotrope, that is graphite, which can also conduct electricity. So, exceptions are very important for any chapter. Exceptions like all metals are very hard, but sodium is soft, right? Sodium is a very soft metal. All metals are lustrous, but sodium is not lustrous, not shiny in nature, right? Oh, when metal react with acid, it gives so metals which are placed below hydrogen in reactivity series, those metal cannot lose electron to H plus ion of acid. So, hydrogen gas is not liberated at for gold, silver, platinum, right? So, there are a lot of exceptions in this chapter. So, exceptions are always important. Our next question is, I think next question is ionic compounds can conduct electricity. Why? Ionic compounds can conduct electricity in molten or aqueous form, but not in solid form. Why ionic compounds, aqueous or molten form, can conduct electricity, but in solid form they behave like insulators. In aqueous or molten form, they have free ions, and these free ions can easily move in that particular liquid, and that liquid which can conduct electricity is called electrolyte. So, these ions can easily flow in electrolyte in case of aqueous or molten state, so they can conduct electricity in this state only. Okay. Next is what happen if copper react with oxygen. If copper react with oxygen, then it gives copper oxide. When copper react with oxygen, it gives copper oxide. Let's balance it, right? And here copper is brown and that copper is black. Copper oxide is black in color. That is copper 2 oxide. Copper 2 oxide. 2 is valency, sorry, oxidation state. Okay. Now, what happen if copper react with silver nitrate? What happen if copper react with silver nitrate? That is aqueous solution, and copper should be in solid state. Reactivity of copper is more than silver, so copper can replace silver. Now, our product is copper nitrate. Product is copper nitrate plus silver 2 Ag separated. Okay. Now, one more important question is rusting and its prevention. Rusting is very important question. Rusting of iron, rusting of copper, corrosion of copper, rusting of iron, like when iron react with oxygen, in the presence of moisture, right, it gives ferric oxide Fe2O3, Fe2O3 dot X2O, and that is also ferric oxide, that is called rust. Prevention of rust. How to prevent rust? We can prevent rust by painting, oiling, greasing, galvanization, electroplating, alloying. These are lot of examples. Okay, lot of way. So our next question is I think our next question is, what happen if aluminum react with copper sulfate? What happen if aluminum react with copper sulfate, CuSO4? I think so, CuSO4, right? Here aluminum is more reactive than copper, so our product is Al2SO4 whole thrice plus copper should be separate, that is in solid form, right? Here copper forms a brownish coating over the surface of metal, right? After this question, our next question is, what is an alloy? I think it's a 10th question. What is alloy? So alloy is a homogeneous mixture of two or more than two substances, or you can say alloy is a homogeneous mixture of two or more than substances which have at least one substance should be metal. First one should be metal and second one may be metal or non-metal. One should be metal, another will be metal or non-metal. For example, bronze. Bronze is a combination of copper and Cu and Sn. Stainless steel, or you can say steel. Steel is a combination of iron, chromium, nickel, carbon. Okay. So our next part is, what is the advantage? What is the advantage of making an alloy? Why we make alloy? We make alloy to enhance one of its property. Property of metal, to enhance the property of metal. One of its property, it may be to enhance its strength, it may be to enhance its conductivity, to enhance its resistance of metal towards corrosion. Okay. A few more questions are there in our chapter, like structure, dot structure of sodium chloride and magnesium chloride, very important. Electron dot structure of sodium chloride and magnesium chloride is very important. Okay. And apart from these questions, you can you write corrosion of copper? What happen if copper react with oxygen in the presence of water plus carbon dioxide? When copper react with oxygen in the presence of water or moisture and carbon dioxide, or you can say when copper react with air. Air contains these all things. What happen if copper react with air? It gives copper hydroxide, CuOH, that is copper hydroxide dot Cu, copper hydroxide, okay, and copper carbonate. Combination of these two, it is a greenish layer, okay, that is basic copper carbonate. Copper carbonate. Why it is called basic copper carbonate? Because they are alkaline in nature, they are basic in nature, right? So these are some important questions from metals and non-metal for your exam point of view, and we have a lot of questions in exception, like why kerosene is why we use to kept kerosene in sodium in kerosene oil. Okay, so these are the important questions for your exam point of view. Thank you for today.